Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, November 1st. It's 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a couple things to update here. And it looks like we should be good to go. All right, so today's the first of the month. You might want to be a little careful. Typically, at the beginning and end of the month, the market kind of changes a bit because of the switch. And we'll see how the market moves here. There's a lot of news today, so a lot of factors pushing price around today as we kick off the trading day. So got this here. Looks like we're good to go. I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and then I'll start marking liquidity. Okay. Hey Daniel, morning Patricia. I'm gonna start marking liquidity over here on the daily time frame as people continue to join in. So I'm gonna go and mark this up right here, there, there. And we're down to the 2 hour. Going down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15. I just realized let me place this 13, 30. Let me change the color of this one to red. Going down to the 15. Lastly, down to the 10. And down to the 1 minute. All right, so price is currently here right now. Closest level of liquidity is going to be above right here. This might get hit pre-market. Maybe not, but the closest level above is going to be 33,220. So this is going to be the first level of liquidity right here. The next level is going to be down below over here at 32,999. So 32,999 down below here. Right below that's another level of liquidity. So if it hits that first level, it's probably going to push even further to the level right after it. Other than that, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, November 1st, 6:26 right now. Market's gonna open in about 4 minutes. As many of you guys know, first of the month is typically a bit risky because new contracts open and stuff like that for the month. So we'll see. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It's not just the first of the month. There's also a ton of news going on. There was news this morning at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30. I'm gonna mark that up first. So we had news over here at 4 o'clock. Let me zoom out real quick because it's a lot of stuff to mark up. We have one at 4 o'clock right here. It's not really a big move, but move nonetheless. So we got that there at 4 o'clock. 5:15 and 5:30. We got one right here at 5:15. And lastly, one over here at 5:30. Next up, we have news at 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Okay. So basically the same setup as yesterday, 6:45, 7, and 7:30. So main goal for today, guys, is to hopefully stay out of a ranging market. I think that's the main thing for us to really focus on today because we've been in a ranging market for so long since last month. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes or so, but market is going to open shortly in about 2 minutes. It's here so far. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Jackson. Morning, Maria. Morning, Randy. Morning, Valentine. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Daniel. Oh, it's today Wednesday. Sorry, guys. Happy Wednesday, guys. I thought today was Tuesday. I got this whole week mixed up. Every time we're on the holiday week, I always get it kind of mixed up. But today is Wednesday, actually. So good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, November 1st. It is 6:29 right now. Market's going to open in about a minute. Jackson's asking if I'm going to get in for liquidity. I never get in for liquidity, so most likely not. There's only two strategies that I apply, which are the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. The liquidity is used as a confluence, but I never get in for liquidity. So I don't know the last time I've gotten in for liquidity. So I'm definitely not getting in for it today. I stopped applying liquidity, by itself, standalone. I think like earlier this year, or not even earlier this year. Let's see. I mean, if you look at my spreadsheet, you can see I haven't applied the liquidity since May or June, actually. So the last time I applied liquidity was like in June, maybe like once in August, but that was about it. I don't really apply it standalone anymore. So yeah, I'm not going to be taking liquidity. I mean, it's a decent strategy. It's just there's a lot of risk that comes with it. So I'm not necessarily going to take it myself. Anyways, guys, market is now open. Closest level is going to be up here up top. That's going to be at 32,220, and down below it's going to be at 32,999. So we'll see what happens here. Market is now open, and there's nothing wrong with taking liquidity, guys. But you guys have to have a lot of confluences behind it. So I didn't really take the overall bias for today yet. So that's something that you definitely want to take into consideration if you are going to be taking liquidity. Guys, market is open. So we currently have a sell signal right here. So if we get two red candles, this is going to be the momentum, or sorry, this is going to be the breakout V2. So if you guys are following for the breakout V2 here, we currently have a sell signal. So if you get two red candles, this initial candle and one after it, that's going to be the breakout V2 if you guys are looking to take it. I wasn't able to mark up the overall bias for today. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment. Let's take a look real quick before we get into this. So looking at this over here, retail sentiment is currently 57% long. This indicates that 57% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and sell. It's not very strong, but it's more of a bearish neutral. So bearish neutral, 57% long. Fundamental bias, take a look at that shortly as well. So again, guys, if this candle closes red, this is going to be the breakout V2 for anybody who's looking to take it. I'm probably going to hold off on taking this right here. Let me see where price is currently at. It's not overextended yet, so if you guys are looking to take it, I mean, it could play through, but I'm not going to take it. I'm going to wait for the momentum pullback scalp and for the high-low scalp V2. I'll leave that running right there, and we'll come back and take a look at that shortly. So I'm not in that position. We're just following it. That's breakout V2. Still one of the strategies that we're testing. The fundamentals here are neutral right now. They're currently plus 20. They need to be plus 100 in order for it to be bullish. So right now they're neutral. Short-term technicals. And there, again, guys, like I mentioned earlier, there's only two strategies that we apply officially, which are going to be the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So this strategy right here is not an official strategy. It's just one that we're testing. As you guys can see right there, I didn't play through. Looking over here at the lower time frames, we have a bullish trend. So 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, you can see prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. And looking over here on the higher time frames, the 30 minutes bullish, the 1 hour is neutral, and the 4 hours neutral as well. So we're going to have a bullish bias for short term and bearish neutral. Well, let's put neutral for long term. So right here, you can see the breakout V2 did not play through. I didn't take the trade, so it's not obviously it's not an account. Hopefully nobody took the trade there. I was mentioning to you guys that it wasn't really a great trade before it came up. I did mark it up because we are putting this into our spreadsheet. So we're going to add this over here for the breakout V2. Obviously, breakout V2 has not been working very well this week. Again, this is for our documentation purposes only. It's not necessarily meaning that we're taking these trades or we plan on taking them. But you guys can see right here that it's not working well for this week. Most likely because of all the news. There's a ton of news here pre-market. As you can see, whenever the trade loses, it's only when there's a lot of news happening pre-market, if there's crazy movement pre-market. So whenever there's CPI news, high impact news, anything like that, this is usually a good trade to avoid. So a lot of impact news, market, interest rate. Today. Yes, there's a ton of news right here, as you guys can see from the calendar. So they're going to be releasing inflation news today. There's high impact news right here pre-market at 5:15. It was negative. You can see there's more high impact news coming up right here at 6:45. There's just a lot of news today. And this is a clear red flag to avoid the breakout V2. You know, as I mentioned before, this is why we're documenting it and we're putting notes here for when these trades come up, because obviously you'll know exactly when to avoid the specific entries. So we didn't take the breakout V2, so it's not going to count as an official entry, but we did document it in our spreadsheet so that you guys can see in the future, you know, these are probably trades that you guys should probably avoid for obvious reasons. Other than that, we're going to continue looking for other entries here. The only other entry that we're testing, aside from the breakout V2, is going to be the momentum pullback, or sorry, the momentum counter scalp. So if we get a buy signal here, we're going to look for two red candles that are following it, and that's going to be the momentum counter scalp entry. That's the only other entry that we're testing. Otherwise, we'll be going to our official entries for the day, which will be the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So high-low scalp V2 right there. And I'll be creating a video pretty soon regarding this. I'm just doing a lot of work behind the scenes, guys. So I'm currently working with a very well-known TradingView coder. And this is all for the benefit for us here, in general, right? It's a benefit for me, benefit for you guys. I'm working with this really well-known coder, and he's helping me understand how to write this code, because as you guys know, I just created the code here for the levels. There's some adjustments that you guys are looking for me to make. I'm also going to find out ways to pretty much create back testing scripts for all of the strategies. So I'm basically going to figure out ways to automate all the strategies, especially this, because I think this can be automated very easily. So I'm going to figure out ways to automate the strategy so that we can have a pretty deep understanding as to like how well it plays out outside the New York session. Because if that's the case, then, you know, a lot of people are asking if they can apply this for other assets and other times of trading. And if I have that data behind it, you guys can really know for sure if it's going to be something that you guys can use. So I will, yeah, Andrew's asking, what do you think of an indicator for retail sentiment? That's another thing too. So I'm working with this coder that I was mentioning, and he knows how to use API. So if I can get the API data from this here, which I'm pretty sure I can pull from somewhere. Once I can pull that API data, I can basically create a retail sentiment indicator. So instead of us having to pretty much, you know, put the overall bias here, I'll just have an indicator that will pretty much tell you retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term, long-term, etc. And I think it'll make it be super, super easy. I'm just looking to make things a lot more simplified and straightforward, so we don't have to like take all this time to mark up all this stuff by hand. But yeah, I'll be working towards that. And I'll try to make a video for the high-low scalp V2, hopefully by the end of the month. I'm just doing a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm always looking for ways to optimize our trading and figure out ways to just simplify everything that we're already doing. I mean, stuff we're doing is not so bad already, but I'm always looking for ways to improve our trading and improve our win rate. Even though our win rate is pretty high, I'm always looking for perfection. So yeah, if you guys don't hear from me for a while, it's because I'm doing a lot of mentoring myself. I'm getting mentored by a coder that does a lot of coding in TradingView. Anyways, guys, there's nothing for us to take here right now. There's no levels here for any high-low scalp V2, so there's nothing for us to even look at here. There's not even a trend. We need the trend here to confirm first. Once it confirms, we'll be able to look for possible opportunities. But it seems like right now the market's staying a bit flat because we do have some high-impact news coming up over here at 6:45. As you guys can see over here on the news calendar, we have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, which is high impact. They're forecasting it to be positive. I'm forecasting it to be negative, so we'll see. So the news sources are thinking that it's going to be positive. I think it's going to be negative. So it's coming out in about 5 minutes. There's no levels here, so there's nothing that we can really look at or take. There's no trends. We can't even take anything to begin with. Same with this over here on our main chart. There's no confirmation of trends, so you can't really look for any entries here for any momentum pullback scalps to begin with. Looking over here on our clean chart, let's see if we have any zones here yet. So we don't really have any zones that are established yet, but I'll mark this up just for time being so that you guys can see where the zones are currently sitting. So there's a huge range right here, as you guys can see. Huge range right here. And we will see and there's currently a range right here too. So we'll see if price pulls into this range. If not, then we'll see if it bounces off here and it stays within this range right here. Still a huge range. But it seems like, you know, the markets or people who are trading are just waiting for the news to come out right here in about 5 minutes. Go to this chart over here. So I don't know if Rashida's here. Yeah, Rashida. So look at this. If you remember, we discussed this head and shoulders here actually can play out. So there's no head and shoulders there. I'm going to take this off because it's not necessary for us now. I mean, it was worth a shot to mark that up. All right. Say 11. All right, guys. So if you guys remember, I was marking up pretty much the open price from yesterday, like pretty much the open price from every day this week. I'll just keep marking up opening prices, guys, and we'll just keep following this because I think this is going to be useful for us when price decides to finally turn back around. You can see that price is actually ranging between the opening price from yesterday. So we have Tuesday open price right here, right below, and then Wednesday's open price above right here. So We'll see prices just pretty much ranging between these two right here. If price does end up turning to the downside, target price point is probably going to be down here at Monday's opening price. But realistically, if you just look at, so let me just turn everything off here. Yeah, so if you're just looking at where price is moving, it hasn't really gone very far between yesterday and today. It's really just been ranging between these two areas here. These opening prices are actually a very strong structure for price to bounce back and forth. Back to our main chart here, there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. I'll just keep marking this up. I think this will be useful for us. I think for the rest of the month, actually. So we'll just continue marking up opening price here. You'll just have a bunch of opening prices marked up here. And I think our end goal here is probably going to be drop. Right? If it keeps coming up higher, I think that's a good thing. I want price to actually come up higher so that in the future, we'll see price come back down. And I don't know, this could be like a YOLO trade for some people, right? You can just, I'll probably, open another personal account with like X amount of money in there, and I'll just let the trade pretty much flow. I'll just take the sell and then hold on to it. Because you can see over here, like the last time it happened, I mean, you could have caught, it's a pretty big drop. I mean, if price came from here down to this point, it's a 6,000 pip drop. If I'm trading like even a 0 point, like if I'm doing like 1.0, that's like 60,000 right there in profit to just sell and hold basically. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions there, but I think, just the idea of it is pretty nice to be catching such a big move like that. And I've never really caught a big move like that before anyways. The only time I caught a big move like that was during COVID. And a lot of times I was based off luck. So if you guys traded with me during COVID, a lot of us did make a lot of money trading COVID. We traded oil, we traded US30, we traded a lot of Forex pairs. And during COVID, it was really easy because whenever you saw price spike, you would just chase it. And, you can just keep riding that for like the rest of the day. It'll drop like 1,000 pips or so. And that's kind of what's probably going to happen in the next year as we go into the election season. So, all right, guys, prices dumping here right before the news event. We have PMI coming up right here, inflation news. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. Again, they're forecasting it to be positive. I'm forecasting it to be negative. So I think this will be negative here, but we'll see. It doesn't really matter what we think because price will still do what it wants to do. Either way, I think there's going to be manipulation on this next candle. And then once we have a confirmation of trend, we can start looking for some, some possible entries here. All right, news is coming up in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here goes the news candle right here. I'm going to mark it up as news. Take this off right here. A little bit anticlimactic. I was expecting a bit of a more volatile candle, but it was neutral. Okay, so it was just right on point. It wasn't positive or negative. It was just straight neutral. So that's probably why it didn't really do anything. Next news event is over here at 7 o'clock. We have ISM manufacturing new orders, ISM manufacturing prices, ISM manufacturing employment, construction spending month over month, ISM manufacturing PMI, JOLTS job openings, and JOLTS job quits. So, I mean, if this news over here was flat, I think this here will be a lot more dramatic, like C6 said. Yeah, C6 said the 10 a.m. news will be more dramatic, I feel. Yeah, this has more information here. So it has JOLTS job openings. This is going to be indicating, the recession, right? Because if there's not many job openings, then it's not good for the economy. A lot of companies are going bankrupt and are closing down and stuff as we get deeper and deeper into this recession, or pre-recession as people are kind of naming it. And then we have manufacturing PMI over here, which is also inflation news. We have inflation news, and then the JOLTS job openings, JOLTS job quits are going to indicate how many jobs are open. The thing with this here, guys, is that, so this here isn't necessarily going to be, or it might be manipulated too. because this is going to be Joel's job openings from September. The thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that we're going to the holiday season. A lot of places are hiring seasonal. So this here might be a positive number, but that positive number might be manipulation, right? Or not manipulation, but it's not going to be a real number. It's like a pumped up number, an inflated number, and then the market will probably manipulate and do the opposite direction. So this might be positive, and then price might actually just come down. So we'll see at 7 o'clock. Anyways, nothing going on here, guys. Again, there's still no confirmation of trend, so there's no entry for us to take here at all. We're again just waiting. Unfortunately, guys, it looks like price is looking flat today. I was expecting price to be a lot more volatile because of all the news that happened over here in the morning. It was volatile for a little bit. So like the news event happened here at 5:30, it pumped up, went into a range right here, pre-market, price pumped up again, came back to fill the movement, just a small correction right here. And then now it's back to where it was over here. So this fall season isn't what I was expecting, or I don't think it's what all of us were expecting. If you guys have traded with me in the fall season in the past, it's usually not ranging like this hard. There's usually a lot more direction, especially for US30, because US30 is like one of the most volatile assets to trade. But I mean, it is what it is. We got to deal. We gotta work with what we can get right here. There's not really too much to work with, but I think the key thing here is it's really patience. And the thing that I talked about with Maddie was that these strategies that we're using, they're good strategies all year round. You just have to wait for the market to break out of the range. So the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2, I think these are strategies that are here to stay long-term for our official strategies. The only problem is that we have to wait for price to actually have some direction, which eventually it will. Price won't be ranging forever, especially not for this specific asset. I highly doubt the US30 will just be a ranging asset long-term, because when the market's ranging like this, or if it's not performing well, they just change out the stocks. So if the stocks aren't doing well, it's just going to make some adjustments and it's going to start moving again. But, it's just a matter of time. I think it's because of the time that we're currently in. Yeah, I don't think we've ever traded during a recession. We've traded during COVID. We've traded during wartime. We traded during elections. We traded during Trump. We traded during a lot of times. We just haven't traded during a recession. So I don't really have much data on market movement during these types of market conditions. So price pretty much went right back up to opening price right here. You can see how price came down, faked out right there, and swung right back up to open. So, this is a good marker if you guys are looking to see what to follow. Opening price typically does very well when identifying, direction of price and stuff. So if this is the case right here, we could possibly have a setup for a momentum pullback scalp. The only problem here is that we have news over here at 7 o'clock, which is in 10 minutes. So if the entry doesn't come up within the next 5 minutes or so, there's not going to be an entry for us to take here, unfortunately. What I see here is I think price is going to range back down. I mean, we've seen this pattern pretty much. Yeah, we've seen this pattern play through a lot, where it starts to lose its push and then it comes right back down. So it looks like it's attempting to establish a new range right here. So once I see a new higher high get established, this is a lower high, but if I see a new higher high, like something like this, that's where I'm going to start to anticipate a range to be established, because that's where a new zone is going to be placed, right? We don't have a zone right now, but eventually we're going to have a zone right there. So what I'll do here is I'll just make some adjustments. No entry for any high-low scalps. Patricia said she's hanging until after news. Yeah, me too, Patricia. I'm gonna wait. We got news coming up in about 9 minutes, guys. I'm gonna see what the market's gonna do here. We do have a bullish trend now. So if you look over here at the pivots, we do have a bullish trend. So this is a good thing. We have a direction here. The only thing is this direction gonna hold, right? Is it gonna hold, or is it gonna create a new range within this area? Because if it holds, that's great. I want to see a hold, push through, and continue climbing. This is exactly what we want to see, but that's wishful thinking. If you guys have been trading with me all week, pretty much all week this week and all week last week, we've had a lot of, it's just ranging. You can see right here, the candles are getting smaller and smaller because the market's flattening out until news right here. I think the market will just go sideways here until news, which is in the next 8 minutes, and we'll see. If I see a momentum pullback scalp, I'll mark it up and I'll kind of show you guys where the entry's at. However, not really expecting too much here. Because we do have the buy signal here, but we need price to actually push up a bit higher. It needs to push up, retrace, and continue. And that's where your entry would be. So again, we're just waiting here. If the sell signal comes up, obviously there's no entry that's going to be there because we need the buy signal to confirm the direction. The one thing that might be setting up here would be the high-low scalp V2. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's taken any trades yet so far, which is fine. There's nothing for us to take here at the moment. And just one big shout out to Allison over here. Allison finally passed her FTMO. It's been a long time coming, and she finally passed her FTMO yesterday. So nice work to Allison right there. I know she's had a lot of ups and downs. She's kind of tried different systems, and it always brings her back to K2. So nice work, Allison, on passing that. And yeah, just got to rinse and repeat the process. So I think we had 2 people that got funded this week. We have Janesh, who got funded. He was being mentored by Maddie. Again, if you guys want to be mentored by Maddie, Maddie is mentoring right now. I don't know if he's busy, but I know a lot of people have reached out to him. So Maddie's doing mentoring right now. He got Janesh basically on the level to get funded. So he's doing well. And then Allison just got funded as well. So nice work, guys, on both of you guys for doing what needed to be done to get funded. Sorry, guys, 1 second. All right, so looking at this here, guys, there may be a possibility of opportunity here for a high-low scalp V2. However, we have news coming up at 7 o'clock, so I'm not going to take this trade. It's just too close to news. So I'll mark it up if and when it comes up here, but it's not there yet. So we'll see. So we need the green candle to break and close past the area. You can see price is actually ranging right here. So I don't think this is a good area to trade in to begin with. Price is ranging within this area right here. And I think this is going to continue to range until we get closer to news. We got news coming up in about 5 minutes, guys, right here. It's high impact news. I would probably skip whatever's coming up here because there's just so much stuff going on here. It's high impact So there's high impact job news and then inflation news. So I think this is going to have a bigger effect than the last news event. But I guess we'll see. So I got the levels marked up right here at the quarters. See what's going on there as well. Here is our clean chart. We don't really have structure here built up yet. Once we have new structure built up, I'll clean all this up. I'll take everything off and I'll just draw a new structure. But right now, there's just nothing going on. Price is pretty much going sideways. The high-low scalp V2 here did not come up. We got news over here in about 2 minutes, guys. It's like, I feel like now that we're waiting for the news to happen, it just takes even longer. I feel like the news should have passed by now, but it's all good. We're just gonna wait. It wouldn't really matter because there's no entries here to begin with, so there's nothing for us to look at here. One thing that I want to mention to you guys as well is that I talked to Maddie yesterday and this week, and I'll probably start mentoring again soon, guys. So not yet, but probably soon. I think we're gonna try to do a different format. So I think we'll try to do like monthly groups. There's no details to it yet, but we're gonna do like a monthly mentorship. So like basically an A to Z from like basics, the indicators, the strategies, application, basically a month-long mentorship where the first week will be just learning everything. The second week will be application, and then every day, like, so basically after every live session, we're going to meet, we're going to review everything, make sure everybody's doing good and people aren't making mistakes. And then on the last week of that month, everybody's going to be on their own, and then we'll also meet after the live sessions. So I think it's going to help a lot because it'll just be a lot of repetition. The only problem with it is that I tried to do this mentorship last year, and the people who were in the mentorship didn't even participate, which was kind of beyond me. And it was a free mentorship too. Like I literally gave the mentorship out for free and people didn't even use it. So this is definitely not going to be free. This is probably it's going to be pricey because I feel like with not just with trading or just with anything in general, like if you give something free to someone, they're not going to value it, right? If they pay for something, they're going to actually value it. So I want people who are like, the people I'm going to be mentoring, I want them to actually do very well, and I want to see them succeed. So it's going to be a very hands-on mentorship. I'm going to do like one round, and then we'll see how that goes. But I'm pretty sure whoever does the mentorship with me, they for sure going to do very well because I'm going to be on them every single day, reviewing their trades, making sure they're not making mistakes, and we're going to incorporate journaling into it so that we can really see what we can do to make that person a better trader. Anyways, here goes the news candle right here, guys. You guys can see the big spike. This is exactly what we wanted to avoid and why we didn't take any trades until then. So we got the news candle right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So mark that up right there. There goes the news candle. Huge spike right there. So it did negative. Joel's job quits were negative. Manufacturing PMI was negative. Joel's job openings was positive. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, this number here is not really a real number because between September and December, it's a lot of seasonal hiring. So they're forecasting it to be a lot less, but because of seasonal hiring, it's higher. I don't think this is real though. I think obviously this is going to drop as we continue on along with the year. So there were less quits, more hires, higher inflation. I think this here will probably come back down. I don't think this news here is enough to hold it up. I think this is probably going to come back down. So this might just be a fake out, and then it might just swing back down eventually. But yeah, I mean, the high-low scalp V2 didn't even confirm yet. So if this comes up right here, I'm probably not going to take it, guys, because this is all reaction to the news right here. You can see the breakout or the break to the upside was mainly off the news. So you're probably going to get some manipulation from now until the next like 5 minutes or so. So if you guys are looking to take any trades here, I'd be very careful because the market hasn't fully reacted to the news. News came out and we'll see what happens here. I think the market might stay a little flat for the rest of the day because later today, they're going to be releasing the Fed interest rate decision. So the Fed interest rate decision, they're forecasting it to be neutral. They're not expecting it to go up at all. I think it's going to go up. So let me check over here real quick. Treasury detail plans to step up size of bond sales to manage growing debt. So maybe it might or it might not go up. There's virtually no chance policymakers will make a move either way on interest rates when Fed concludes its two-day meeting. Okay, so it might just stay flat, actually. They're going to have to raise it. So if they don't raise it this month, they're probably going to raise it next month. Yeah, so it looks like they didn't agree on anything. So that's why the market's kind of flat. So I don't think the Fed's going to do anything today. If you guys are ever curious what's going on in the news, just go to CNBC. I mean, everything's pretty much on here. You can check. So the Fed interest rates are going to be released later today. I guess it's going to be flat. They're not going to make any changes. I think eventually they're going to increase, but not today. So it'll probably happen tomorrow. Thanks, Rashida. Rashida said liquidity just got hit. So if anybody took liquidity right there, it was on the news candle. So it like literally spiked up, hit TP, and then came right back down. So if anybody took liquidity right there, full TP on it, obviously I wouldn't have taken it right there. I don't take liquidity on its own. But one thing to look out for here is the retest of it. Nice. Rashida had her buy stop in, so she triggered it and she went straight to her TP. What you can look at here is the retest of the area. So if price comes back up, they'll probably blast right through. But I think price is actually going to come back down. I'm expecting a correction back to the downside. Just from my personal opinion and my personal reference, I guess that's kind of what I see happening here. I'm not going to update this as a higher high because this was a manipulated candle. So I'll just leave this as is right here. All right, so the high-low scalp V2 is currently setting up right here, guys. Again, I'm not looking to take it because, like I mentioned earlier, I think this here is all manipulation based off the news right here. You can see the big spike in candle right here from the 7 o'clock news. Price is just correcting back down. So if it does come back up, I think this is going to be a bit of a risk. I think I'm going to wait for price to actually reverse. So there's no entries here for any strategy, whether it be the momentum pullback scalp or the high-low scalp V2. So if this comes up, guys, I'll mark it up for you guys. But again, I'm not going to take this trade. I think a lot of this movement here is based off the news. So I would prefer to see a reversal here. I'd rather see price reverse back to the downside. You can see it's back below opening price right here. So you guys can see over here on this chart, this is our opening price chart. See where price has failed to get past, and it's back into this range. So it's probably going to pull back down into this ranged area. So I'm expecting a reversal to happen here. And we'll see. In order for us to have that opportunity, we need to confirm the trend shift. So the trend here needs to shift a little bit. And once the trend shifts, we'll be looking for some sells. Yeah, C6 said 100% skin in the game matters. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like when you give something free, give something out that's free, a lot of like it doesn't matter what it is, guys. Like if if you give somebody a free gym membership, they're probably not going to use it. If you give somebody some like free samples, probably not going to use it. But if someone pays for something, they're definitely going to use it, right? So it sucks because I try to make it affordable and free for everybody to get mentored, but you just don't take it seriously if you don't have any skin in the game. So yeah, I think Daniel might be the first one or the only one that's still around. Which is cool. I mean, I'd rather work with quality people who actually want to learn. All right, guys. So here's the entry over here for the high-low scalp V2. Again, I'm not in this position. This whole move over here is a risky area to trade in because this entire entry here is set up. Well, the whole setup here was basically it just came through because of the news candle right here, right? Price would have just kept ranging down this area right here if this news candle never came up. It would just kept going back and forth in this area. So there's just a couple red flags here. I mean, one red flag is that price is ranging. Obviously, you can see it's pretty clear here where the range is currently at. It's just ranging within this area. And then on top of that, the break to the upside was basically based off this news at 7 o'clock, which was high impact news. So I'm not looking to take this. I'm not in this position, not even like I don't even have an idea. Like I don't have any FOMO in me at all to hop into this trade because I'm not expecting it to play out because of the analysis that we had here. So what I'm looking for personally is I'm looking for price to actually come down here in reverse. And then I'm gonna look for some entries, down here. But I mean, we'll see. We will see what happens. And then we'll go from there. But I mean, realistically, there's nothing for us to take here to begin with. You can see price is pretty much just ranging around this area. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go ahead and draw a new structure right here. And we'll leave it at that. All right, so you guys can see the structure here. Price is pretty much just ranging again. We're back into a ranging market, guys. Unfortunately, I was hoping that we'd have some direction today, but we're just ranging between this area again. The main thing with this is you just got to weather the storm, guys. The market's not going to range forever. It might take a week, might take 2 weeks, might take a whole month. But once the market starts moving directional, there's going to be a ton of opportunities to take there. And, hopefully you guys won't blow your account by then. Because what happens a lot of times with people is no matter how much I warn people about not to trade in a range like this, a lot of people still want to trade, right? They get FOMO. They feel like they need to take a trade every single day. And what happens is they keep taking losses trading within these ranges. And then by the time the market starts moving directional, they already have a blown account. Or say their challenge is like super deep down in drawdown where they can't even come back, right? So I'm going to give you guys a heads up, from experience and from years and years of trading with you guys here live. The range here is not really something to play around with, honestly. It's not worth the risk. And you're better off not taking any trades and just having a flat account than having a bunch of losses stacked up during this type of market. If you guys are looking to take trades, there's trades that you can trade there's strategies that you can trade during a ranging market, but they're only good if you know how to use them. So like, for example, if you're applying, the high-level momentum scalp, that works good, but you have to confirm a lot of things. A lot of things that people forget is you don't confirm overall bias, right? If the bias isn't bullish, then you shouldn't be taking any buys for any high-level momentum scalps or any of those other strategies that work in a sideways market. Let's take a look at retail sentiment real quick. Let's see. Patricia said FTMO is acting weird. Let me see. Yeah, the candles look kind of different. It looks like it's a little delayed, like it was last week. It's catching up, but it is definitely a little delayed. And there's some gaps in between. Well, I can see the gap right there is from the news candle, like that big wick candle. Actually, this candle is different. So if you look on FTMO, this candle right here is actually red. but it's actually green. It's green here, but it's red on FTMO. But this was the news candle, so I could expect that. That happens when news happens, when the price spikes. The current candles right here are kind of okay, but they are a little bit laggy. Yeah, Shannon said she learned the drawdown lesson last week. No trades this week so far. Yeah, same here, guys. I haven't taken any official trades this week so far. I've been following the market, but I haven't taken anything. So here goes the high-low scalp V2. I mean, it's still technically running right now. It hasn't hit yet, but it is running right now. The trade's been running for quite a bit. So it's been running for a while. If anybody was looking to take it, of course. So this trade right here is still technically running, guys. Again, I'm not looking to take it, not looking to mess with it at all. But it is still running. Looking over here, I don't think. So actually looking at this over here, we did have a momentum counter scalp, guys. I'm just looking at it like past tense, but there was an entry that was right here. So market open right here at 6:30. We had a buy signal. There's two red candles. The momentum counter scalp happened right here. I don't know if anybody caught it, but it happened around 6:58, like right before news. So it's not something that I would have recommended taking, but if you guys did take it, it did hit TP right there. I'm just going to add this to the spreadsheet so we have data on this specific strategy. I don't know if William took it. William's like the main guy who takes the strategy, the momentum counter scalp. So that happened at 6:58. I'll add it to our spreadsheet here. So the momentum counter scalp's actually been hitting pretty much every day this week. 6:58. It was for a sell when our pitch. And the high-low scalp V2 just hit right here. I didn't take this trade. I'm just going to add it to our spreadsheet, of course, but I'm not going to, there's no official trade here because I didn't take it. But you guys can see the strategy works fine. It's just, it's up to your preference, you know, if you guys are feeling risky or not, but I don't feel like it's a good strategy. Well, it's not a good time to take the entry because it happened based off the news, but this happened at 7:07. I'm going to add this over here. $7.07. It was a buy when full TP 300 pips. So as you guys can see, the strategy works fine. It works fine. It just depends on like the person, right? If you feel like you want to take a risky trade, you can take it. But for me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that specific trade there. There's another entry over here that's setting up, guys, for a high-low scalp V2. Also, there's an entry here for a momentum pullback scalp that is setting up as well. So I'll come back between these two here. There's no high-low scalp V2 yet. There's also no momentum pullback scalp here either. The lowest level that we can enter from would be here at the 30 mark. So there's no opportunity for entry right there just yet. Actually, there's one right here. So it just filled right now, guys. I don't know if anybody was able to get into it. It just happened too quick. I mean, I guess I could put a buy stop there to catch it as it swings up. But I didn't get into the position. This thing just ended up closing right there. And then it just came down super hard from where I was currently at. Let me see if I can put a pending order there. Just watch it here, see where it goes. And I hate putting this order on MT4. It's just so annoying. I wish you could put like the actual number there, but I have to like measure it. Let me see what the number would be. I don't really like how these candles are moving though. Let's see. I might have to either enter manually or figure out the numbers here. It's like in between the green candle. All right, let me see if I can get in. I can never get an exact price, but we'll see if I can get it as close as possible. So it still hasn't filled for me yet. And just review it. I want to make sure I'm not making any mistakes here. So we have the momentum signal, retracement right there. Pulled back and filled it. Yeah, the entry's right there. Entry is at 33,230 right there. All right, I'm just gonna wait. Let me see where we're currently at. The problem with this here, let me see if the sessions is on. Yeah, mine filled too, so I'm in it. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. It's just like not like a great area where it's currently at. The range just keeps moving higher and higher, but I'll make some adjustments as we get closer to that point there. So I'll just use this as the higher high. Yeah, Maddie said we did have a pretty big candle beforehand. Yeah, so it's just kind of retracing back a little bit off that candle. So it's kind of and it price is overextended. I just realized that right now too. It was like exactly at the overextended mark right there. See where liquidity is at. So it came back and retested that area of liquidity right there too. So I might go for like another touch. I just gotta keep watching it because this thing keeps. All right, watching it. I gotta manually exit if it hits. I'm just gonna pull out, guys. I don't like how it's moving. I'm out. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. I don't like how it's like moving right here. But I pulled out for, let's see what I locked in. 1,500. I could have held on to it a little longer, but it's all good. I locked out. I pulled out basically at full TP. I got pulled out at 1,200, or sorry, 1,520. I got basically pulled out when it was like right here, like right next to it. I just didn't like the way it was moving, as you guys can see, but it did hit full TP. Sometimes if you don't feel comfortable, you just got to pull out. And that's usually what I advise you guys to do. Don't ever feel like, don't let your ego get above you, right? If you're like so close to your TP, like for example, if your TP is like right there and you're like right here and it doesn't close you out, don't let your ego get, because you want to get that like that little bit right there. Just pull out and profit. I didn't feel comfortable because it was going back and forth for so long. Usually the strategy hits right away. So when it got to this point, I just manually pulled out of the position. I didn't feel comfortable holding on to it for like the last 10 pips, right? I don't need those last 10 pips. I already made to 1,500 off that trade. There's no need for me to hold on to it longer than I need to. So, all right, guys, full TP on that trade right there for the momentum pullback scalp. I think this is my first. Yeah, this might be my first official trade for this week. This week has not been the best for us, but I'm glad that hit, and we'll see what happens here next. Another opportunity here for a high-low scalp V2. At this point, I'm not going to take this one here because for one, price is very overextended, and for two, I think this here is just not a good area to trade. And as you guys can see, we had this whole range right here, and that's kind of where our entry got stuck, because our entry was kind of stuck right here between the range, and then it finally blasted right through. So Just a little update right there. And let me just give the, I think I already took a screenshot of this. So let me add this to our spreadsheet over here. This was a momentum pullback scalp. Entry happened at 7:16. Actually, we're in November already. Yeah, it's crazy. We're in November. You're just flying by. So I'll update the spreadsheet later with all of the wins and losses and whatnot. But there goes the first entry for November. And we're about to be done with the year soon. So we had a pretty good October, guys. I didn't realize we did. Well, I mean, I did realize, but I didn't really realize until now. But we had 19 wins and 1 loss for November. And for October, for our entire month. Total trades of 20 trades, win-loss ratio of 95%. So it was a pretty good month for October. Hopefully November continues to be good. We just got to get out of this ranging market, and then hopefully we'll have more opportunities here. Because you can see that we kind of things got stale towards the end of the month of October. Early in the month, it was pretty good. Straight hits, back-to-back for literally everything. There was actually a high-low scalp V2 that hit today too. It wasn't an official trade because I didn't take it, but there's 2 trades that hit today. So technically there could have been 2 trades today for November 1st. I only caught one of them. And I think that's about it for right now. So this candle broke past it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the price doesn't come back down on the next candle, there's not going to be an entry here for a high-low scalp V2. But it looks like price is finally starting to have its stride, and it's breaking out of this range, which is perfect. This is exactly what we were waiting for. We hate when price goes this way. We like when price goes this way, right? So we'll see as we continue on. But yeah, as of now, there's nothing for us to take here. We already used this buy signal. So we have to wait for another buy signal to come up before we can take another momentum pullback scalp. So there's no momentum pullback scalps available right now. Looking at this over here, there's no high-low scalps available right now either. It looks like this is pretty much done with. And we're pretty much just going to wait for another opportunity here to come up. But at the moment, we don't have anything else here to take. So nice profits over here from Andreas. He took the buy as well with us. Total profit of 360 for the day. Nice work right there, Andreas. I'm going to add it to our team profits. If you guys have profits post up, feel free to send them up. Here's Maddie over here. Maddie locking 120 per account. So nice work right there, Maddie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 1,000 for the day. Nice work right there, Maddie. I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits as we wait for another opportunity to come up. Hopefully we get another one. If we don't, obviously I'm not going to force anything here. But it's just the market that we're in, guys. It's NFP as well, so just keep that in mind. Today's the first of the month. It's NFP. We have inflation news. We have interest rate news coming out. We have the war in the Middle East. So if you guys follow the war in the Middle East, Yemen just, basically declared war on the US. So, I mean, it's going to be a crazy, everything is already crazy going on. And it's just going to get crazier as this war progresses, because this war is not going to stop. I think we are definitely going to be going into World War III probably, as scary as it sounds. But I mean, it's inevitable, right? So what I'm hoping is that we don't go to war while Biden is president, because I can't imagine Biden being president and we go to war, and I don't even know what will happen. So yeah, if the US does go to war and we enter this war, we already entered the war because we already backed up Israel. But yeah, I can't imagine us going to war with Biden as their president, because it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time to be alive. All right, so let me put this over here real quick. Here are my profits. I had decent profits, some slippage, but decent profits. For the most part, I made what I needed to make off that trade. So let me go over here and just copy this real quick. That's the entry we took. So there's the strategy we took. Here are my profits. Okay, so here are the profits across all my accounts. I'll take individual screenshots later, but here are my accounts for so far. We have my funded engineer account, total profit of 750. My FTMO locked in 710. Second FTMO 710. Third FTMO 710. My main 200K account locked in 1,520. This is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 370. This is my personal account locked in 195. And these are both my TFF accounts, total profit of 666 across both of the accounts. So those are my profits from this specific trade right here. My profit was supposed to be at 1,000, but you can see I cut out a little earlier. So I pulled out at like 750. And this was supposed to be 2,000, locked in at 1,520, you know, slippage, spread, etc. It happens. So that's pretty much what I locked in so far today. There's no entries here for any momentum pullback scalps yet. What we need here is we need a sell signal to confirm the retracement. And then once we confirm the retracement, we're going to look for the continuation and we're going to look for price to push up, come back down, and provide us entry for a momentum pullback scalp. So that's where we'll be looking to take our entries here. And I don't know what's up with this indicator. You guys can see the indicator here. Sometimes it comes up and then it's like dotted. Sometimes it's lined. I got to figure out a way to fix that, but I'll figure out a way eventually. I mean, as of now, the indicator works perfectly fine. So I don't think there's anything that really needs to be changed, but I'll find ways to make it better. Anyways, looking at this right here, guys, we have news coming up at 7:30. It's low impact news, but it's still news. So I wouldn't mess around with it. It's just basically gas stock change. So we got crude oil stock change, gasoline stock change. It's happening in about a minute. I wouldn't necessarily trade during this time because if you guys remembered a couple months ago, we took a trade when this news event came out, same exact news event, and price did a crazy spike. So I would just sit out until there's some sort of confirmation of, you know, the manipulation's done from the news. So we keep getting new higher highs over here. And delete all the older ones. So looking at this right here, it looks like price is actually moving decently directional today. So you can see the fake out below right here, and then it made its climb right back up. So we'll see if this continues to break higher highs and it just continues to climb, you know, even better. But I mean, we'll see. You don't want to make any early assumptions. All right. So we got that right there. And again, we're just waiting for any other opportunities here to provide us with any entries. So here's Maddie's results for October. Maddie did pretty good too. We had 16 wins, 2 losses, total profit of 1,760, total trades of 18 trades, total win rate of 88.9%. So guys, I really recommend that you guys start journaling your trades. This is the only way that you guys will understand and really be real to yourself of like how to make changes to get better, right? So Maddie here started documenting his trades and he's been doing very well. He's been very consistent and he's making a lot of profit. That's the only way to like really understand where you guys are messing up. Because the thing is, it's easy for you guys to just ignore a loss, but when you have it on your spreadsheet, you can't ignore it because it shows exactly what you did there. And you put notes on the side of like, you know, how did that trade mess up? Like what could you have done differently to fix it? Looking at my spreadsheet over here, I don't really have notes because I only take notes on the losses because the wins are usually going to be official trades. This one right here was a loss on the 23rd. It was a solid trade. Everything was solid about it. The only difference was that price was ranging. I'll add that there. Price ranging at time entry. So that I know in the future, okay, don't take trades when price is ranging, right? That's how you guys will get better. You just take notes on your losses, you learn from your losses, and then in the future, you'll know not to take trades when price is ranging. So yeah, if you guys want to get my spreadsheet, just go to the Discord, go down to Trading Journal right here. If you guys are new to Discord, go to Kodi Kai Trades up top, click on Show All Channels. You'll see this channel over here that says Trading Journal. Click on 2023 Official Live Trades. Click on this link right here, and then it'll pull up the spreadsheet. Once you guys pull up my spreadsheet, just copy my spreadsheet. Copy my spreadsheet and then put in your own information. Yeah, William said just click the copy button and it copies to you. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, Johnny, so just follow what William said. He said just click the copy button and then you can make another copy. You can make a copy of the spreadsheet. And then what you do here is you just document all your trades. So document all your trades, wins and losses. And then in the future, you'll just pretty much mark up. So in the future, you'll just look at all your losses and then you can figure out, okay, what needs to be avoided, right? What needs to be, like, if this strategy is not doing well for you, stop taking that strategy, right? And that's how you guys will get better. You just got to get better and learn from your mistakes and learn from the bad trades and just progress from there. Anyways, here's a possible opportunity for a high-low scalp V2 that's starting to set up right here, guys. The only thing that I would be careful for is that it looks like price might be back into a range right here. It's not a range yet, but it may be setting up for a range. So we get a buy signal over here. Yeah, if we get a buy signal here, then this may set up for a momentum pullback scalp. Price hasn't pushed up yet. No buy signal, no entries here at the moment. See, price is starting to climb a bit higher. The pivot pivots up. I'll clean it up later. All right, so we do have a buy signal right here. It's an invalid signal, but it's still a buy signal. So we have a possibility of a momentum pullback scalp entry setting up here. So we got a buy signal right here. We have price pushing up. If price retraces down, we may have opportunity for entry right here at the 90 mark. The 90 mark is going to be the lowest area for entry. So nothing lower than that. Right, so we might have another momentum pullback scalp entry setting up right here. High-low scalp might be setting up as well. Oh, we'll have to wait for that. All right, so we're looking for a red candle here. If we get a red candle, it's going to be a setup for a momentum pullback scalp. If this candle breaks past it, this is going to be a setup for a high-low scalp V2. So if we get a red candle right here, it needs to close above this black line. If it closes below the black line, there's no entry. But if it closes above the black line, there's going to be opportunity here for a momentum pullback scalp. We also have a high-low scalp V2 setting up right here. The ATR is a little low though, so you guys might want to be a little careful with this entry. Maybe go for a smaller TP. All right, we have the momentum pullback scalp that is starting to set up over here, it looks like. No, so it didn't close red. The candle needs to close red in order for it to be an entry, guys. So there's no entry there yet for a momentum pullback scalp. There might be a setup over here setting up for the high-low scalp V2. We're getting an increased volatility right here, guys. So you guys might want to be a little careful with your entry. The increased volatility is good when it's smooth. When it starts to spike around a bit, it's not really a fun area of trading because it can easily spike down, hit your stop loss before it comes up and hit your TP. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm just taking individual screenshots of my profits right now. Before we get too far into this. All right, so we don't have any momentum pullback scalps just yet. Looks like we might have a high-low scalp V2 that's starting to set up over here. Still no entry. I kind of don't like how the market kind of flattened out right here a little bit. Okay, so there might be opportunity right here for a momentum pullback scalp. The one thing that I don't like right here is that the candles are kind of flat. Let me see if price is overextended. Not yet. So entry would be down here at the 300 mark, or actually right here at the 10 mark. If you guys are looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, the one thing I don't like is the candle's starting to get flat and you're starting to get like a hard retracement right here. So I might hold off on this one right here, guys. There's two entries that are setting up. This one hasn't set up yet. This one here is the first opportunity. So entry would happen right here, guys, at the 300 mark if anybody's looking to take this momentum pullback scalp. I'm going to hold off a little bit. I'm going to see if it pulls back a little further, and then I'm going to get in for a later entry. I want to see if the retracement kind of retraces a little hard, and then if it swings back up. Hasn't filled the entry yet, though. So I don't have a pending order here. I'm just watching it. I'm waiting for it to pull below, and then I'll put a buy stop as it swings back up. Yeah, that would have been nice if it came down and filled it and went straight to TP, but it didn't do that. So there's still no entry here for the high-low scalp V2. So you kind of have to choose between the two, guys, because it's going to be hard for you to take both of the entries. There's going to be a high-low scalp V2, and there's going to be a momentum pullback scalp that's setting up right here as well. This one still didn't set up yet. You need price to break and close below the structure here. So this is the first candle that broke 1, 2, 3, 4. If this doesn't come back down in the next two candles, and there's not going to be any opportunity here for a high-low scalp V2, at least not yet. There's no entry here for momentum pullback scalp. Again, you have to look for another red candle to confirm the retracement. And then from there, you're going to be looking for the entry as it pulls down and fills your order. So no entries came up yet, guys. This one here didn't pull down far enough to fill. And this one over here never pulled down to confirm the next step, which is the fake out. All right, if this closes red, entry is going to be there at the 10 mark. It does not look like it's going to close red, but if it does, you have an idea. All right, no red candle there. Still no entry for the momentum pullback scalp. Also no entry here for the high-low scalp V2. We currently have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the last candle. If this candle doesn't come down below this blue line, there's no entry and this becomes invalidated. There might be another setup setting up over here, so that's something that you can look out for. But this level right here is no longer going to be useful unless this candle pulls back to this blue line right here and it closes below it. right. There's nothing happening here. Okay, so there's no high-low. So this level over here is no longer useful, guys. It pretty much just validated it because it didn't establish before it came up. William is asking what happened to the old high-low scalp. I mean, nothing happened to it. You can still apply it. It's right here. So if you took a trade, it happened right here. William, nothing happens to the strategies. Just because we don't apply them doesn't mean that something has happened to them. That's why it's called a V2. If it was replaced, it wouldn't have a V2 after it. It would just be called a high-low scalp, right? So yeah, nothing's happened to it. It's still there. I mean, if you wanted to take it, it would have happened right there. Okay, sorry, I read that thing wrong, William. Yeah, no, you're right. So that is the high-low scalp V2, or that's the original high-low scalp. So guys, if you guys are, well, I mean, we don't really have a lot of new people here, but if you guys are new and you guys are not familiar with the original strategy, so without the V2, just a regular high-low scalp, this would be the high-low scalp right here. The only difference is that you need to confirm the overall bias because a high-low scalp does require overall bias. I don't think retail sentiment is bullish right now. It's more on the neutral side. So I mean, if everything else is bullish, so if we had bullish fundamentals, which they are bullish right now. Yeah, so the fundamentals are currently bullish at 200. The technicals over here are also bullish, I believe. Yeah, so it still would have played through. Ah, fuck, I missed the trade. Okay, sorry guys. I missed it. I was too busy looking at the high-low scalp. So I missed the momentum pullback scalp over here, guys. It went straight through. So I don't know if anybody caught it, but it happened like right there. It's all good, William. It happened too quickly. So yeah, Daniel said it crossed the line too quick for him. No worries. I probably wouldn't have taken it anyways, guys, because it happened so close. But there goes another entry right there. So if you guys caught it, nice work. It looks like other people were also watching it too. So no blame on you, William. It's fine. I was already looking at the high-low scalp V2s anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, this trade just happened way too quickly. Yeah, C6 said it happened too fast. It was just way too fast. So, all right, guys, unfortunately, this here, it hit. It was a nice entry, but no, but it doesn't look like anybody here caught it. If anybody caught it, kudos to you. You were probably like looking super close to wait for that thing to close, but it like literally closed right on the line. So if you guys took it, nice work. If you guys didn't take it, completely fine. But I think this will be it for the momentum pullback scalp because we have about 15 minutes till 8. And I'm not expecting a pullback retracement candle and a correction and a continued push to happen within 15 minutes. So it looks like this might be done for the momentum pullback scalp for today. But yeah, 2 entries today for momentum pullback scalp. I'm not going to count this as an official entry because I didn't take the trade. The only entries that go over here on the spreadsheet are the ones that I take. So even though they come up, like for example, today 3 entries came up, right? We had a high-low scalp V2, it hit full TP. So we had this entry right here come up earlier. I didn't take the trade because it happened at news. This hit full TP, but I'm not counting it as an official trade. We had one momentum pullback scalp that I actually did take. We're counting this because I have profits for it. And then the second trade here that came up, I'm not counting this because I didn't take it. So, I want to be 100% transparent with you guys. I want to show you guys what's possible, what's not like, what's a maybe. I want to show you what's like 100% possible because if you guys just stick to the official trades, it's almost impossible for you to not get funded. It's almost impossible for you to blow your account because we don't take bad trades during the live sessions, right? We focus on what's quality and that's all that we take. So if you guys look at the spreadsheet here, you guys can see that these are all legitimate trades. These aren't just trades that I'm like, oh, they came up and then I count them as a win, right? I never do that. I don't need to do that because you can see our win rate so high already. Like I don't need to pad the trades because the trades are doing so well as is, where it's just unnecessary. So I'll add this to our results for the week. So we had, or for the year so far. So we had 173 wins. So 19 plus 173. We now have 192 wins. We had one loss from October, so 26 losses. Total profit from October was, or pit profit. So from October, we had a total pit profit of 3,100. We add that to our total for the year. So 3,100 plus 25,230, 28,330. Total trades, we took about, I think 20 trades, right? 19 and 1. Yeah, 20 trades. Let's do the win-loss ratio. So win-loss ratio for the year of 2023 currently up until October. Our win-loss ratio is, let's see, 192 divided by 218. Or actually, it's already updated, it's 88. Or I'll just put it here. So we're currently at an 88% win rate for the year of 2023. So basically from January up until October, we had a total of 192 wins, 26 losses, a total profit of 28,330 pips, total trades of 218 trades, total win-loss ratio of 88%. So pretty decent for the year of 2023. Yeah, I think this is our best year so far, guys, because I've been documenting everything, so it's been a lot better. It's been a lot more organized, and you guys can always go back and take a look. So pretty solid. There's no entries right here, guys, for any momentum pullback scalp. So we're pretty much done with this chart. Looking over here at the high-low scalp V2, I don't think this is going to hit from now until 8 o'clock either. It's already 7:50. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and then we'll take a look at what is going on here. Sam is asking, hey, Sean, when do clocks go back in the US? It goes back this month, but I think we have changed the law. So we're not doing daylight savings anymore after this year. I think this is going to be the last year for us to have daylight savings. And then we're no longer having daylight savings here, I believe. Next Saturday. Thanks, Maria. So yeah, next Saturday in the US, the clocks will go back 1 hour. And then I think let me check. Don't quote me on it, but let me see. Daylight savings. Because I'm not sure if it's just my state or if it's in general, if it's a federal law. Yeah, so Sunday, November 5th, actually this weekend. So this weekend over here, it's going to be changing, Sam. On November 5th. Yeah, so Senate approves bill to make, I don't know. I thought I saw some news that they were getting rid of daylight savings, but it's happening next week. It's happening this week, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let's see. D said, I thought Congress still needs to approve it. California approved it, but Congress is lagging. Yeah, no, exactly, D. I think it might just be California. It might not be the whole United States, but it just might be California. But yeah, I think they do have to approve it. So I think by the end of the year, they'll approve it, D. They're just kind of lagging it, as usual, you know. It's not important to them, so they don't really care. But they'll probably approve it by the end of the year. So I think this might be the last year. If not, next year might be the last year for daylight savings. All right, so I think this might be it, guys. If there's any other questions, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. There was a high-low scalp or a high-low momentum scalp that just came up right here that Daniel just identified. There's a higher high right here. This candle broke and closed below the structure, and this is where entry would have happened for a high-low momentum scalp. I'm going to go over here and post up my individual profits. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. We have more profits over here from Madhu. Nice work, Madhu. All wins right here for the day. Total profit of 1,965. Nice work, Madhu. Solid profits right there. We have Andreas here with some more profits as well. Total profit of 980 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Andreas. So again, Andreas' profits right there. I'm going to go ahead and post up my individual profits. And then if there's any questions, guys, put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up for the day. But I'm pretty excited to get back into mentoring, guys. I haven't mentored in a while. I just want to get a good group of people who really, really want to kill it. Like, if you guys want to have, really good consistency like everybody else here, I think the mentoring group will be good. We're just gonna I'm gonna figure out a curriculum to make sure that we have everything organized properly. It's going to be a more hands-on mentorship. So for whoever's going to join it, you have to be present for the actual sessions. We're not going to have any people that are halfway in, halfway out. We need people that are 100% involved and want to be part of it. So we'll do a test group maybe at the end of the year, if not early next year. And then from there, we'll see if we want to make this a regular thing for us. Anyways, here are my profits for the day so far. So here is my funded engineer account locked in 750. So my funded engineer number 1. So basically for that mentorship, guys, we're going to be focusing on just official trades, right? So if you guys can just focus on official trades, it's inevitable. It's literally inevitable. You're going to be profitable because you're going to be taking only the trades that we have here on our spreadsheet. So we'll work together with that, and we'll be sharing. I'll make sure that you guys get on point with everything, because that's the key thing here. Anyways, the rest of my profits here. Here's my first FTMO locked in 710. This is FTMO 1. My second account, total profit of 710 as well. 202. My third account, total profit of 710. Here is my main 200K account locked in 1,520. Here is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 370. Here is my personal account, total profit of 207. Here is my first TFF, total profit of 700. And my second TFF, total profit of 700 as well. So those are all my profits for the day so far. I'll just add it up. We'll see what I locked in for the day in total. So 750, 710, 710, 710, 1520, 370, 195, 666, and 666. Total profit of 6,297. So this is a level that I want to get you guys on, right? So whoever's going to be part of the mentorship, first I'm going to get you really good on one account, and then from there we'll get you on some copiers, and then obviously we'll get you to that point where you find this consistency every single day. So all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to keep trading, I would probably be careful, guys. The interest rate news is coming out later today, so I probably wouldn't even bother trading for the rest of the day. Interest rate news is coming out at 11, so you're going to see either a lot of consolidation, a lot of ranging, or you're going to see some crazy movement as we get closer to 11 o'clock. So, all right, guys, that's it for the day. If you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next